So it wasn't quite the start we wanted in Bahrain with P7 and P8. It's time to put some upgrades on the car, I think. Welcome back to F1 Manager, everybody. My name's Aaron and I am managing Mercedes. And yeah, things didn't quite get off to the start that we hoped for in Bahrain. Let's have a look at the standings, which we'll have a look at the Grand Prix result. So in the race, it was Max Verstappen who won, shock, and he's followed home by his teammate Sergio Perez. And then it was a bit of a Noah's Ark in the top 8, so the 2 Ferraris, 2 Aston Martins, annoyingly, and then the 2 Mercedes. And George Russell got the better of Lewis Hamilton. We didn't really manage Lewis's race particularly well. I think the strategy wasn't really very good. So that's my side of things. But we can improve the car, and we can also improve our pit stops because our pit stops just weren't quick enough. On the car, behind the scenes, I have been instructing the team to create a new underfloor. So we've put half of our new ATR allowance into that, and we've also been designing a second front wing. So that's going to be coming available to manufacture in 31 days, 33 days for the underfloor, 12 days for the new rear wing, and 6 days for new side pods. So we might get the new side pods for the Australian Grand Prix. When we get the in 2 weeks, yeah, we should get the new side pods and the new rear wing for the Australian Grand Prix, and then these two will be definitely on for Baku. We also need to deal with our pit crew, if I can find it. There we go. So development, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look. Let's see. So we're just reducing errors at the moment. Pit stop time. Let's do that. And then tyres, the accuracy and speed of using the wheel guns, taking the tyres off a car, putting new tyres onto the car. Let's confirm that and make sure everything in the pit lane is going as it should. Response required. One of our sponsors has asked if we can reduce the number of factory events we have scheduled with them due to calendar conflicts. This will turn the overall amount of overall amount of sponsorship funding we receive this season. So there'll be lower sponsorship, but we would get those manufacturing days back to support car development. So we would have more time to develop the car, but less money to do it with. Considering our bank balance is currently $43 million dues, the official currency of HGP, then I think we'll be okay. So let's keep relations with the sponsors good. So we'll cancel the factory events because that's what they've asked for. So I'm going to go to practice for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, prepare the team, and I will see you for qualifying. Here we go. Q3 in Jeddah. First runs. Let's see what Lewis has got. We'll have a look at the sector times as they come through. But there's actually a little bit of traffic here in front of Lewis Hamilton. That is a Ferrari, but Lewis still sets a purple sector. Russell not able to match him, so perhaps either Lewis getting a really good slipstream or he just wasn't bothered. Now there's a Red Bull in his way. His first sector has been beaten. Not sure who by, but we're into the final sector now. Russell beating Hamilton's middle sector, and we're being beaten probably by a Ferrari that's just come out behind us. Here comes Hamilton then. He does a 28.8, which wasn't as quick as his Q2 lap time. And George Russell is a tenth of a second slower. He's not done a personal best in the first sector. George Russell has. That's the checkered flag. Let's see what the middle sector brings for Hamilton. Keep an eye on the right hand side of the screen. It's not a personal best. Russell is going quicker. Is Russell going to beat Hamilton in qualifying? Around the final corner for Lewis Hamilton. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near the front 2 rows. Here he comes, and he improves slightly. What does Russell do? Slight improvement. He's actually 6 thousandths of a second slower. So we are 6th and 7th, which is worse than Bahrain. In fact, it's got even worse because Stroll has now gone 6th fastest and Verstappen has gone fastest right at the death. And it is a tale of woe at Mercedes. We are 7th and 8th for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Alright then, race day, let's have a look at some strategy. We've got high and very high driver confidence. It's actually asking us to start on the hards. Well, it's just giving us no strategy at all. It's up to us to make one up. So we could go soft hard. We'd get some sort of undercut, but then we'd have to manage those hards quite a long way. I'm thinking just go straightforward, medium hard, and just see what we can get, what sort of luck falls our way. You know, worst case scenario, we finish 7th and 8th. That's the bare minimum. It's really not anything to celebrate at Mercedes. Our standards are much higher than that. But we will attack from the off. And I think from watching back the first episode and watching other people's videos, you've got to attack with the tyres, especially in the opening laps, because otherwise you just lose too much ground. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to be aggressive with the tyres. We're going to go for it and see what we can come out with. Alright, time for those famous 5 in Jeddah. All Red Bull front row. It's actually 2x2 again, and we're underway under the lights in Saudi Arabia. And immediately we're having a look at one of the Aston Martins, and Hamilton has got past Lance Stroll off the line, and now he's chasing his old buddy Alonso. Maybe we'll slow it down through here because it's very fast. It's very difficult to see what's going on. They can't seem to be hopping there for some reason as they come through the right-hander. But Sainz has got in between the two Red Bulls. Let's go on board. Driver's eye with Hamilton. I'm going to turn my speakers down a wee bit. It's a bit loud, even for my ears. We are chasing Fernando Alonso. What does it look like from Russell's on board? He is staring at the same gearbox as Lewis. Tyres are heating up. We'll just go down to aggressive on them.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Hamilton is right on Alonso. We'll come out of helmet cam. We'll go to the T-cam with Lewis, and we will just begin to speed things along now. See how the opening couple of laps go. We'll stay in aggressive. We'll keep pushing the tyres. We will come down on the deployment, and we won't go aggressive on the overtakes just yet. In fact, it does seem that Alonso is pulling away there with the Ferrari, and Stroll is right behind Hamilton here, falling well outside DRS range with Hamilton. Russell as well has fallen back from the Aston Martin of Stroll, who is again going to come past, but he is actually on soft tyres, as is Alonso. So maybe we're actually doing the wrong thing in trying to go with them, because they're going to pit earlier, and then they're going to be Stroll even is side by side with Hamilton here. While I've been talking, he's going to take the position, but we will get the DRS through these series of, I say straights, they're not. They're about as not straight as it's possible for a straight in F1 to be. And Hamilton, I think what we'll do now is we'll put him high aggression, we'll go for the overtake, we'll deploy energy. Are we going to make the move this time? Here he comes, up the inside. Can't make it stick, can't make it stick. Well, he might do actually on the exit. Yes, the deployment gets us the position. Whoa, Hamilton with the late dive at the overtake there. I was just sort of watching really just to see what happened. We just lost the position, but he went for it late there, and hasn't come off unfortunately, so we'll have to size this one up again. Is Lewis still on? Yeah, he's still on high overtake aggression. It's really the only way to get past, I've found. Let's go into high aggression on the overtakes, because otherwise you just get stuck. Here we go. This time Lewis with the DRS, not quite. Haven't got enough deployment really to really make a difference. Are we going to go for another late dive on the brakes? No. Okay. We lost a little bit of driver confidence there. We're back in front of Stroll. Hamilton on the brakes into turn 1. Took the outside line this time. And got the drive out of the corner. Then made it stick. Still on the outside into turn 4. Well, we won't even see it. Thanks, game. Stroll has got back past, but we'll have DRS at some point to take that back. Here we go. Hamilton down the outside. Carbon copy. And he gets it done very nicely there. Good job, Lewis. Come on. So what we're going to do now, it is now hammer time, Lewis. We've got a couple of laps before the pit stops. We're going to push on the fuel. We're going to go aggressive on the tyres. It's hammer time. Let's see if we can drop Stroll. Let's go for some deployment as well. See if we can leave him behind out of the hairpin. He'll probably still get DRS there. But we pulled the gap out to almost a second. So maybe... Oh, let's see. Will he get it this time? There's the line for it. I don't think he did. Has Stroll got DRS? No. We have, at the moment, successfully dropped Lance Stroll. Alonso's into the pit lane. Hamilton is still a few laps away from his pit window. There we go. With the pit window opening. George Russell is not far behind either. So we'll give it a moment. We've dropped Stroll by 2 seconds there. That's excellent news. So we're going to do exactly the same now with George. We don't have a fancy word for what it is for him at the moment. I don't know. Russell, give it some hustle or something. We need a phrase for George for when he's really going for it. Is it Russell hustle? Is it Russell muscle? Who knows? Tell me in the comments, what should it be? Hamilton now 5th, Russell 6th, because Aston Martin have pitted first again on their tyres. They did it in Bahrain and it kept them track position, but this time we're wiser to it. We're going to be making sure we get some sort of overcut. And with Hamilton, we got him ahead. We're just going to try and protect from the undercut now. We're going to wait until the pit window opens, and then we will bring him into the pit lane. Perez is making his soft tyres last like a magician. They're at 29%. He really is the tyre whisperer of Formula One, isn't he? And as I say that, he's into the pit lane. How does this stop go for Red Bull? Much better than his one in Bahrain. And we will actually move up into 4th position, courtesy of that. Our medium tyres are starting to cook. And when I say cook, I mean like they're in a frying pan and not really going to be delivering us a huge amount of pace. What was our last lap time? A 34.2. Russell only a 34.6. Hamilton really going well on these tyres. He's actually quicker than Sainz. He's quicker than everybody. Lewis has really got the measure of George this weekend, and it's time for some hard tyres for the 7-time world champion.
Box, 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 box.
It is box, box, box. It is in, and there is no way he is staying out. The thing is now, with Russell a few seconds behind, we can do a double stack. We're going to go for a double stack here. An impromptu double stack. George can deploy his energy.
Box, box.
We're going to push with Lewis. We're going to go for a double stack. So let's see. How is this going to play out? Hamilton is at the final corner now. We'll bring him down. We'll harvest as we come in.
She'll keep these tyres in good nick.
And where is Russell? He is not far behind, and we've missed the point where we can change that. Here we go then. Hamilton in. How's the stop? It's okay. Russell not delayed. 2.8 seconds for Hamilton. That's not good. 2.7 for Russell. Not ideal either. We need to really start making a difference with those pit stops. Only 11th on the fastest pit stop time for Hamilton there. Russell's should get us into the top 10. Not that they mean any championship points, but we'll push. We'll go aggressive to get the tyres warmed up. We are 1 second behind Lance Stroll, so we need to actually attack and deploy and close that gap to Stroll. As they're on mediums, they're not going to last. Have we made a mistake? Have we made a mistake with our strategy?
So
We're now empty on battery. We've made a mistake on that. Well, let's see. The tyres are starting to warm up. Let's see. We're going to keep pushing on the fuel. We need to get George topped up there. That'll top up in time. In fact, he's just lost a position to Ocon. What's going on? Esteban Ocon is back. And what on earth is going on here? Russell was almost forcing him into the pit lane. Tyres still coming up to temperature, it would seem. But Ocon is back to annoy us. Double overtake incoming for George Russell. Late on the brakes, scaring everybody out of the way. Here we go, on the exit. He's going to get Hulkenberg as well. That is beautiful. We love that, George Russell. Maybe we haven't gone the right way. We're the only cars on hard tyres. This is concerning. But hopefully we will get this paid back to us because the tyres will last and we can keep pushing on them. If you have a look at our graph on the strategies, we're just marginally dipping below. So hopefully we can keep pushing on the tyres and things will come back to us. But at the moment, last lap, 4/10 quicker than Stroll. So we are going to attack with Lewis now. See what we can do. Let's make some inroads into the gap that the Canadian has on us. It's a mini hammer time, if you will. 15 laps to go, 78%. We can keep pushing on these tyres a lot. We will now get DRS next time. In fact, this time we have got DRS. The mini hammer time has worked. It's brought us into play, and now we can chase down Stroll, and hopefully we can mess around with Leclerc's race as well. We need to do something about the Canadian, kind of about now. So let's do exactly that. Let's not do that one. Let's do this on board from driver's eye. Let's see what it feels like to make an overtake around the streets of Jeddah. So we're on board with Lewis Hamilton. We'll push with the fuel. We've got DRS. Keep an eye out for a Ferrari zooming past us as well. We're not going to make the overtake this time. Bumpy over the curbs. So we'll just go normal there. Are we going to get the run into the left-hander? Oh, we're showing a wheel. Probably a place. In fact, there goes Leclerc. We didn't get the move done, and we've lost the position to the Ferrari.
Just think about lifting coast efficiency.
So let's have a look at how that looked off board. That's why we were clumping all over the curves, because Leclerc was alongside us and then he pinned us up against the wall. And just extra traction. Decent move that from Leclerc. Alright, this is the moment we're going to deploy now. And we're up the inside. Well, I think we'll have DRS as well. Do we? No, we don't. We didn't get the DRS, which means Stroll is probably about to come back past us. No, he's not there. So let's see if we can leave the Aston Martin behind. We are pulling away very quickly here through the first section. If we can leave him behind and get him out of DRS, which I think we might have achieved here. Almost. There we go. We won't have the DRS. So we will need to just bring everything back a little bit, throttle back a slight bit. 10 laps to go. We've got Lewis up into 6th place. Russell is just meandering around in P8. Let's see how this finishes. We've not had a safety car, not even a yellow flag around Jeddah. Everyone's still in the race. And Stroll has now got DRS again, which is incredibly annoying. We're going to have to go attack again. And push. And deploy. Getting back out of that DRS range. So we'll leave it on attack on the tyres and see how that goes. He's now 1.567 seconds. So I think that is Lance Stroll's challenge against us done. Can Russell catch him? I wonder. I don't think he will, but we'll just go aggressive attack on the tyres and see what happens. It's coming down a little bit actually. 32.8 actually versus a 34 flat for Stroll. Tyres are getting a bit too hot on George Russell's car. But he's still 0.8 of a second quicker than Stroll. He's closed that gap down quite a bit. We need to save some fuel, in fact, with Hamilton, because he's not going to make the end of the race at this rate. Russell is not going to catch Stroll, so we'll just see this through to the end. Verstappen, shock horror, has started the last lap in the lead. Verstappen has won the race ahead of his teammate Perez. Alonso's on the podium. That's bad news for us in our fight for second, but we do have upgrades coming. And we have, I mean, for what it's worth, we have beaten an Aston Martin. So Lewis Hamilton takes 6th place and George Russell takes P8. We've beaten the Alpines by 20 seconds. So P6 and P8,
well done this weekend, mate.
a little bit better. Hamilton comfortably having the measure of his teammate this weekend. There is George getting out of the car. Let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship then. Max Verstappen leads the way, 51 points. He's 18, not 18. He is now, quick maths, that looks like 15 points ahead of teammate Sergio Perez. Charles Leclerc 3rd. Alonso up to 4th. Hamilton jumps ahead of Russell. Both our drivers are still behind Lance Stroll. That tells you everything. Those upgrades cannot come soon enough to make this car a little bit better. 22 points now for Mercedes, 39 for Aston Martin. We need these upgrades to work and work quickly, because otherwise we are going to be left for dust. 2 successful overtakes, 2 failed overtakes, 4 successful defends, 2 failed. Hamilton though, 9 failed overtakes, 6 successful, 15 successful defends. The British Minister of Defence, if I may say so. That was the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Let me know how you think the upgrades are going to pan out for us and where we should focus our efforts next. We've still got suspension, a second part of suspension that's coming in manufacture. We could do a chassis upgrade. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more Grand Prix content, share this with other people who you think would enjoy it, and thank you very much for watching.